Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of PSR. Today I'm giving you the window into my soul, my eyes. It's a little dark out here because we're about to shoot some night vision content with these. These are the RIX Tactical RNV-31s, under $5,000, dual night vision. And we're gonna get all into it. I'm gonna tell you everything about them and we're gonna try them out on the range here once it gets dark. But first I just wanna say this set of RNV-31s could be yours. Fan of them assists creators in connecting with their audience like you guys and offering them fun stuff that they can take home like these. So you can go to fanofthem.com/PSR. That's fanofthem.com/PSR. If you're interested, you get a merch item in return for your entry to win these babies right here. So the RNV-31 from RIX. Let's open this up and check this out. I became aware of these a few months ago. They are very value-oriented night vision goggles. So if you're looking at getting into night vision and you don't want to spend 8, 9, 10 grand, binocular night vision usually runs anywhere from on the low end like 65 to 10 grand, 15 grand for some really nice tubes and really nice housing. These are more budget oriented and they are a dual tube setup that has a bunch of features. We're going to test them out today, but this is what you get in the box. So you get your owner's manual and a little spec sheet. Let's open up the case. I love the Coyote and OD green case. These are our RNV-31s. Really lightweight. Shockingly lightweight, very compact. These were purchased from Optics Planet. I think they're around 4,500 bucks for this white phosphor version. So these are white phosphor tubes. The FOM on these, the figure of merit, if you're not familiar, is around 14 to 1600 FOM. Not too bad. For 4,500 bucks for a dual tube setup, these are pretty impressive. So they're white phosphor tubes, but they're not Gen 3 white phosphor tubes. They're Gen 2 plus. So they are a little bit less high performing than your Gen 3 tubes. And I did bring my AGMs to compare, which have Elbit Gen 3 white phosphor tubes, so we can show you what the difference is in terms of like grain, how they do under really low light conditions. We'll go into the woods. So these night vision goggles come ready to go with your dovetail mount. Easy, put it on this fake Wilcox that I got that runs great, honestly. And they click in right there. They've got a little holes on each side to attach your bungee cables for retention and such. One of the things I really like about this housing, and just doing a little bit of research about it, these things articulate, which is sick. You can kind of hug them a little bit closer to the helmet, a little bit better weight distribution, kind of closer to your head. They come down obviously, and then when you flip them up, you can actually tap this power button. So the power dial is right here. Tap the power button 3 times, I believe, and these will automatically shut off when you flip them up. It's a feature that you don't really see on this kind of a price point for a night vision goggle. To have that turn off is really nice, and it's just very convenient. If you just want to know that they're shut off, it's really nice to be able to flip these up like that. The construction of these is like a durable polymer. They feel pretty durable. The other companies that make these polymer housings, some of them are 3D printed, some of them are injection molded. Like Nocturne Industries and a couple other companies do make these kind of polymer housings, so it definitely makes the weight a little bit lighter. These do come with a IR illuminator built in, and I think you just hold the button down to activate that. These use also a AA battery. A AA battery probably gets you 14 to 18 hours of runtime, which is plenty good. You can get a external battery compartment that goes back here that's made by RIX. It's a proprietary unit, and that will bring the battery up to like, I don't know, probably like close to 50 hours if you've got multiple batteries back there. I think they're charged by the lithium rechargeable kinds of batteries instead of just AA lithiums. Now, one thing about these tubes, the Gen 2 Plus tubes that are in here, they are Chinese tubes. I have never had any issues with Chinese tubes. I have like a Russian tube that's Gen 2 Plus as well. Gen 2 Plus technology, they're just not quite as sensitive to light and maybe a little bit more grainy, but I already compared these to a really nice Gen 3 white phos tube. They definitely weren't, in my opinion, 3 times as better, the nice ones, which is about the price cost difference is like 3 times the amount. So we'll see how well they perform tonight when we shoot. Signal to noise ratio kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of the light sensitivity and the grain. Both of these are 22.13 and 22.39. You super night vision nerds are going to understand that more than I am, but I will let you know and I'll show you the comparison. You get the carrying case, you get a couple lens caps. These do have these built-in kind of bikini covers that have a little hole in them, which is nice. So you can actually run these with these on here. You can see with them. They're going to be obviously darker than if you take them off. I do like that. You can just kind of flip them out. And I would assume that you'd be able to adapt some sort of iris system to these as well. These are auto gating tubes and they are manual gain. They will adjust to the amount of light coming in, and you will be able to adjust the gain manually in terms of how bright you want them, which is nice. So as you may know, I'm into like budget stuff that might be useful for your average enthusiast, right? So if you're not used to night vision, if you don't have night vision, if you're not using it regularly, it's not a great investment in my opinion. Obviously, you got a white light on your gun probably. That's a great way to see in the dark. The night vision is more kind of covert operations, I guess, or if you don't want to be noticed, that's really the only benefit to it. I mean, it's awesome to be able to see in the dark. I love shooting competitions with night vision. It's sick. So if you think you're going to use your night vision regularly, 100%, whether it's this stuff or a nicer pair, this is a great thing for you. It is an investment, right? So even $4,500 is quite an investment for most people, including myself. If you're trying to get under that $5,000 mark, these are probably the ones, honestly. We'll see once I shoot them, but I'm pretty impressed with these so far, just putting them on and walking around my backyard. If you're going to get a PVS 14, like a really nice PVS 14 is not that much cheaper than these, which is going to come in around 35 to 4,500 bucks just with one tube. While the construction of these is polymer, they feel really solid and they're nice and compact and lightweight, which is another benefit. I do have a counterweight on the back here. The balance there is actually quite good. You want a good balance in my opinion, so I do have the counterweight in the back. You don't have to run them. You might not even have to run them with these lighter weight pair. So those are the RIX RNV-31s. I'm really excited to try them out. Let's talk quickly about what gun we're going to shoot with tonight. So the gun we're going to be shooting tonight, this is the X-Star EP9. This is a very budget-minded gun, and I thought it would fit nice with our kind of more budget-minded nods. So this is an entirely polymer AR9. So I first came across this gun at a Goals conference, the GOA thing. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like if you matched an AR9 with the FGC9. Just kind of a cool lightweight PCC. I mean, it's just blowback 9, so the recoil is a little bit more than like anything with a delay on it. It's very simple, uses Glock mags, and it's very affordable. So it's like 450 bucks. Honestly, not bad for what you get. I've put a Difrico grip on here. We've got a Magpul BTR brace on here, which is one of my favorite braces because it kind of resembles a stock, but it's not. Then we got a chopped B5 Systems foregrip and some B5 Systems rail covers on here. This is M-LOK. And then we've got a suppressor on here. This is the Dead Air Wolfman, and I thought it like tucked perfectly with this rail. Then we've got the star of the show on this gun is the SMS Laser Trinity. This is a brand new laser from SMS. I'm really excited to try it out. Never shot it before. Been really impressed with the HFX-C. Very budget minded as well, and so is this. So this is 350 bucks. So this is about as value oriented as possible with this whole gun being probably with the laser and everything, you know, around 750, 800 bucks. And then we got our $4,500 dual night vision setup. It's honestly not bad for what you get in terms of just the features. We got a side charging handle. We also got a Strike Industries red dot on the top. Pretty simple, Glock mags, AR controls, AR safety. I did already attempt to see if I could potentially get this to go super safer with an FRT. The bolt is a little bit different in the rear geometry. It actually doesn't have a weight in it, so it's a little harder to modify, although I'm sure it could be modified. But this one is kind of, given this plastic and the AR9s are kind of prone to out of batteries, running it with an FRT might not be the vibe, but the spring in here, really, really strong. So I'm not really worried about it just semi-auto running with an out of battery or anything like that. And I've not heard these have any issues with that. So that's the gun we're shooting, the X-Star EP9. We got a lot of Glock mags loaded, and we got subsonic Federal ammunition in here. I can't wait to try the laser along with these nods. So we're gonna let it get a little bit darker out here, and we'll see how this thing runs. But one more thing, I gotta thank the channel sponsor for PSR, and that is Aves Engineering. I love Aves, not only because they're a great company made right here in the USA, but they make all of the rails for your squirted Glocks. We love a cheeky squirted Glock like the Glong or all of the other frames that are available. They make a ton of Mac 11 parts, Mac 11 uppers. So big thank you to Aves for sponsoring this channel. Hey guys, do you like AKs? Well, I certainly do. And there's an event just for you. It's called Kalash Bash, April 10th through the 12th, 2026. I will be there shooting AKs, having fun. It's a competition and a vendor event, ton of AK related stuff. If you're an AK enthusiast, you're gonna love it. It's in Texas. The tickets are still available. Never Google Kalash Bash to find more information. If you like Clayco 47's channel, he'll be there too. He's running the event. Check it out, and back to the video. We got the RNV-31s. Oh wow, okay. Just put them on. Sky is very cloudy. This is, I think, a pretty good test. I'm noticing initially these nods, definitely a little bit more grainy in the darker spots, the darker areas than my well-spec'd Elbit tubes. So the Gen 2 Plus is gonna be a little bit grainier, but I can still see great out here. There's no issues seeing stuff. I also am noticing there's a little bit of chromatic aberration on the edges of the lenses. If you don't know what chromatic aberration is, it's when there's a high contrast area. Photography terms, you know about chromatic aberration. It's like there's a really dark object and a really light object. There's a little transition between the edge. It ends up being a little bit blue purpley. So I'm getting some of that on the outside of the lens edges, and there's a little bit of distortion, but it's really not bad. All right, let's get to shooting this thing here. The EP9 with the SMS laser. Oh wow, okay. The SMS, damn. This is pretty sick. It's like a short throw lever to get really big IR illumination to really small. I got it on the low power setting because I don't think we really need high power right now, but damn, this is pretty sick. All right, let's try this thing out. So this is just a mil-spec AR trigger in here. It's not too gassy from where I'm standing right now. You can definitely see the sparks. Maybe you can catch it on the camera. Sparks coming out of the ejection port. And we're out on that mag. I like this gun, man. Honestly, for a budget AR9, that's really pretty good. There we go. We got some cars over there and a dong. Nice, double tap. I like this SMS. I don't know if you can see, if you want to focus down there. So there's a little throw lever on this laser that allows you to go from really tight to kind of wide. So that's like the wide mode. And then this goes to really tight. Pretty cool. It's similar to the Holosun, except it's a little bit less clicky, a little bit more of like a slide. For 350 bucks, it's waterproof, unlike the HFX-C, so it's a little bit more durable. Let's do a little shooting here. Come on. There it is. Nice. I'm really impressed with the more budget setup that we got on here. It's honestly doing pretty well. And this suppressor, the Wolfman from Dead Air, it's sick. I like that it's modular. You can make it shorter or smaller. Wolfman isn't necessarily like a budget can, but it definitely fucks, dude. All right, well, I think we should go into the woods, see how these things do under real dark conditions, like with no ambient light from the sky and the shadow of the woods, and just see what they look like. We're in the woods. It's pretty damn dark in here, but I can see everything really well, honestly. I mean, it's not perfect by any means. Some grain. As far as just like identifying things and walking through the woods, like no problem. I can see where the trees are, going in and out of trees, no problem. Oh, shit. All night vision, more or less, unless you got like a bridge setup or something, is going to be straight up 40 degrees field of view. And a lot of people, when they first put on night vision goggles, don't understand that. You're looking through basically like two toilet paper holders, little tubes. You're not going to have peripheral vision. Oh, shit! Good spatial awareness. One thing about this goggle I'm noticing is I'm able to cheat it a little bit and get a little wider field of view by just tilting them out to the point where it feels comfortable, but I get a little bit more than just the one singular circle. It's kind of more like an oval shape, which I actually really like, and it gives me a little bit more field of view. For these tubes being white phos and Gen 2 Plus, there is some grain, but it's very good for what it is. I did try a set of quad tubes that were all Gen 2 Plus. They were really not that bad, and with a quad setup, you get the peripheral vision, and that's a sick thing. Looking pretty good in the dark. Let's show you what it looks like through like recording with our phone, and we'll show you what these tubes look like in the dark. Here we go. I'm gonna try to give you the best view on the phone. It's not the best image in terms of just actually what it looks like, because there's a lot more grain I'm seeing in this image with the iPhone than what I'm seeing when I look through them. This is what they look like right now through the iPhone in a really, really, really dark environment. Like my naked eye, no matter how long I stay in here, it's really hard to adjust. Now that we're doing this, I might have to do a little comparison with my Gen 3 white phos Elbit tubes. Should be quite a bit different, but is it $5,000 extra different? That's what I'm really curious about. This is the difference. You can tell there is a significant difference in terms of the grain and what you're able to see here in the woods. $5,000 worth of difference? I don't know. The glass quality on the AGM, a little bit better, I would say, than the RIX. Not the chromatic aberration that I'm seeing on the RIX. And the definition of the detail you can see here on just the iPhone recording is quite a bit more on the Elbit tubes with the AGM housing. So that's both of those. And you can see right now through the PVS-14 what a budget PVS-14 looks like, and that's what you're looking through right now. Shooting a little passive here, just your eye looking through the nods, looking through the red dot. There we go. I'm still able to hit here. Not bad. Way easier to shoot with the laser, dude. Whew, I like shooting this gun, man. It's honestly really nice. For being plastic, I mean, I am a plastic enthusiast, and it looks like the FGC9. Hell yeah. It caught me in a compromised position right now. Now that we're in a little bit lighter spot, there are some like IR floodlights, unfortunately, at the range. You can only catch them with your nods. So it's not perfectly dark, but no problem at all identifying targets here. Especially with a good laser. Like this SMS laser is honestly great. We definitely saw the differences between the Gen 3 and the Gen 2 Plus. Is it enough of a difference that it makes it unusable? Absolutely not. Like I can totally navigate in the dark, in the woods with these, no problem. As far as the feature set goes, like you can flip them up and they automatically shut off, which is really nice. Can't see shit right now. Now we're back in it. All right, let's just finish this mag out. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We just wrapped up a night of shooting with the RIX RNV-31s. For what you get for the value, I'm very impressed, honestly. They're pretty cool. Having a company that can sell duals for under $5 to your prepared civilians out there is sick. And these 100% give you the capability of seeing at night and identifying targets, navigating, walking around. These are sweet, dude. I'm pretty impressed by them. I've tried the PVS-7s. We did another review of the PVS-7s on here, and these blow the PVS-7s out of the water, to be honest. PVS-7s are pretty cool for like a little retro kit, you know, a little cloner kit. These are packing a lot of modern features like the flip up, auto turn off, the fact that you can run a battery pack with them. The positives are all of those features and the fact that they're white phosphor, the fact that they're under $5 and they do perform pretty well. The downsides, I would say just the glass quality isn't quite up to par. The lenses are pretty bright. I think it's a 1.2 lens, so it's going to be letting in a ton of light. The chromatic aberration is noticeable. There's a little bit of flaring when you're looking at like bright lights in the distance, like these infrared lights right here. It's kind of got a little halo effect. So I would say you're kind of sacrificing a little bit of glass quality. They performed great tonight. So I'm pretty impressed with these, and they seem pretty rugged as well. Probably not quite as rugged as a metal housing, but there's lots of other really great housings out there that are plastic. So I don't think that's a deal breaker at all. As far as the gun, the X-Star EP9, I'm a fan, man. It's not a bad gun. Really great for the price. I mean, for like 400 something bucks, you get a FGC9 looking gun, and you can tuck the can like this, which is really sick. It's got enough of a diameter, and it performed really well. Really dialed in on our laser, which speaking of which, this SMS Trinity, I really like it. It's right on par with the Holosun Iris, except it's like half the price, which is hard to believe. Something out there is half the price of a Holosun, but just as capable in my opinion, just from using it tonight. The form factor is a little bit thicker, a little bit polarizing on the looks. Pretty sweet laser, especially for 350 bucks. All right, well, that's my initial impressions of the RIX RNV-31s. Reminder, these RIX RNV-31s could be yours. If you don't have night vision yet, fanofthem.com/PSR. That's fanofthem.com/PSR. You might win. And if you don't, you still get a merch item and get to support me as a creator and making these videos. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. They come already ready for dovetail mounting. Dovetail mounting.